Hey everyone, it's been a few days since I wanted to do this initially, but what the hey, it's time for my gaming vlog of March with my one of my new shirts in my collection to lay that off. I'm gonna hit like the bits of news I've been trying to grapple with for a while out first before I get into what I'm playing and want to play, because it's all pretty big in its own way. So let's begin. Let's start with a story that is currently in progress. I normally don't address these when they're still in motion, but in this case, I'm going to exception because of the significance. After nearly 25 full years of the brand, and both Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond are departing from their positions and at Xbox Studios from Microsoft, with their replacements and being brought in from their AI division. If I had to say right now how I wish the outgoing parties and incoming ones well, they'll admit the whole approach does concern me. And I think everyone, even people who are bigger fans than I am, have a right to be concerned. If my gut were to tell me right now, Project Helix concerns me, but also intrigues me if it can also play both console and PC titles, kind of like the Steam box can. All the same, I still have a way less clear picture about what to expect for the next compared to their rivals, which will bring me to my next subject. It seems that Sony, among other her plans, is walking back their initiative to put more of their games on PC, keeping more of them exclusive to the PS5's ecosystem for a lot longer, which honestly it makes sense to me given how even with all the current economic and supply factors, the system is actually keeping a solid pace with the PS4 at the same time frame, if not slightly higher than that. So and I'm still processing in like the Blue Point closure, which I do agree at least is disappointing. And I'm also not entirely surprised that FromSoft has final say on a potential remake remaster of Bloodborne, which is one of my unicorn remasters and remakes, which also answers the question they're asking on their social feeds. What I would want. I mean, maybe something will happen like Tango Gameworks getting bought at the last moment, and but I don't know. All the same, FromSoft is definitely known for finally crafting their games, and they definitely gonna need all hands on deck for what's coming next, such as their spiritual successor on Switch 2, the Duskbloods, name among other stuff. And less surprisingly, despite a valiant effort from the remaining skeleton crew, due to the loss of the bulk of their player base and the fact that their player base was not really engaging in the monetization, which is both things you kind of need for a live service this game and to keep, well, living. And Highguard is indeed shutting down in 3 days on March 12th. They posted this on their official X/Twitter feed. So let's give it a read as I have with other ones. Today we're sharing difficult news. We made a decision to permanently shut down Highguard on March 12th. Since launch, more than 2 million players have stepped into Highguard's world, who shared feedback, created content, and many believed what we were building. For that, we are deeply grateful. Despite the passion and hard work of our team, we have not been able to build a sustainable player base to support the game long term. Stars will remain online until March 12th. We hope you'll jump in with us one more time to show your support and give us fun great matches while we still can. The team is excited to release one final game update to enjoy the main life of the game. We add a new warden, a new weapon, account level progression, and skill trees. From all us at Wildlight, thank you for playing, supporting us, and being part of Highguard's story. I still maintain that I did not consider the game to be terrible, just average. Average, like how it's not the worst game I've ever played. It's certainly not the worst FPS I've ever played, but then again, it's also not the best of either one of those either. I mean, there's. I'll definitely mention this more in this post-mortem I'm working on. But I'm gonna need a bit more time than I thought with it, especially given how much deep I am with other projects I'm working on. Lastly, it turns out not only has Pokopia ended up becoming a not only the best received spin-off in the 30-year history of the Pokemon franchise, it turns out that once again, demand is outstripped supply of Exo Emerging, with some retailers not being able to keep up with demand, and others actually raising the price again, and to because of the demand. And I still maintain if I had known it would be like this, I would have just actually bit the bullet seed and just gotten it digitally, which I might have to. Who It's okay. It's not the only one I've been playing. On Switch Family, which should make a nice segue into what else I've been playing. Okay, so I think I might as well start with both the old and the new Pokemon titles first. I mean, despite the discourse over for how it was handled, like I expected, Fun Life Green are doing quite well for themselves. I'm currently about 8 hours and change in each, and I definitely am a liking experience, and it's not just. I wouldn't say that they aren't buggy the way that that the original Red and Blue, and to an extent Yellow were when I played them. It's just there are different things. I guess I'm one of those kind of fans. I like to find bits in the system and exploit them to my benefits. That's where and in regards to Legends ZA, I finally cleared the Mega Dimension and main and main goal of trying to get Rayquaza. It took me a lot of tries. I'm not terribly bothered by the anime, how easy it was for him or Roy to finally get the shiny when it took me a couple hours at least to get the right countermeasure. I mean, some people were suggesting to use like different monsters. My strategy was alternating between Kyogre or Mega Diancie, Floette, and my Feraligatr as well. So, it's not the monster cells a problem, but once again, in trying to figure out what part of the screen has been taken up by the tornadoes and the meteors. There's main. It's I definitely kind of get those jokes about people actually. It's one of those games where people actually they switch to Souls Light actually to play something a bit less intensive. But as someone who was growing up in the 8-bit, 16-bit days and transitioning to 3D for consoles, I don't see difficulty as like a deterrent, but as a motivator. Apart from Pokopia, I'm also gonna be trying the original Mario vs. Donkey Kong when it comes to Game Boy Advance Classics next tomorrow. For Mario Day, funnily enough. And at some point, I will probably get one of the accessories for like the Virtual Boy app as well, which I never thought I live in a timeline where they'd actually acknowledge Virtual Boy, let alone I actually would be interested in trying it, including some ones that only just now getting official release outside Japan, and even as well as prototypes that got canceled before they could see full release. Yet, here we are. I mean, so I think I'm not one of those people that's just like only preserve good games. I would say primarily preserve good games. Then you can work out any of the other ones, warts and all. That's why I'm not bothered by this Marvel collection, not including like the excellent X-Men Arcade Belt Scroller, or and the Maximum Carnage game I played on Super Nintendo, but also some of the ones that weren't as well received, like that Silver Surfer game that really they nerfed Norrin Red, which, as Sean May put it, his hands, energy beam hands, he's like as strong as Incredible Hulk. So here's hoping they can make the invincibility cheat a toggle in the options like some of these other collections like Interactive Museums too. Yeah. On my PS5, I am working through more of my pile of games that got like upgrades to my PS4 versions, primarily focusing on both my second playthroughs of Shredder's Revenge and Resident Evil Village, as apparently naturally RE Requiem him is also having supply issues as well. Oh, like if I had a nickel for every year here, I was interested in both a new Pokemon Smile and Mainline Resident Evil game for their respective anniversaries. Had 2 nickels. This is a lot, but it's what has happened twice. I will keep using Phineas and Ferb meme as long as I continue to be relevant in the conversation, fellas. On that subject, I've also have been enjoying the Overwatch D brand. I'll need more practice with the Jetpack hats, but I'm also finding my groove with the other heroes. Like Doman in particular is an absolute hoot beast. I would say I am more than happy to include her in my rotation of the tank characters. Hers also playing once again Bounty Hunter Remastered. Heard. I'm also really glad of all the things that I got with and my over the last year or two on my PS4. Also, if not longer included, with the PS5 versions gratis, where and it's also kind of why if I see something once, it doesn't surprise me if I see it again. Like, well, I think the mixture of both free and paid updates is about what I expected. I'm kind of a guy that's more likely to spend the in-game winnings on a character or story a campaign than just a very showy cosmetic outfit. And I definitely will also keep in mind that my post-mortem on High Guard, I'll also be talking about how the other issues with the live service markets, like how I'm not saying it's impossible for a new title breakout in this crowded market. Arcry is able to do it before. Or Marathon, well, not the biggest numbers, is still actually holding a lot better than, say, going from 97,000 players on launch day to barely having a few hundred as about to go dark, So, yeah. And on top of like my essential PS Plus games for this month, not the greatest ones ever, but they are pretty decent. I'm especially looking forward to playing, as I chose by the thumbnail, so it was a bit fuzzy. It's the highest quality copy I could find. Tekken, Dark Resurrection, and the PSP version of both the of the arcade Smash Hit expansion Tekken 5. I played that version, I played the arcade version pretty extensively. Hey, growing up, every arcade or pizza parlor was at, I definitely plunged quite a coin in there. So, of course, I'm eager to try it. So, yeah. That's the main reason I'm subscribed to this tier. Here is the legacy games, mean the good, the bad, and often the quite strange. Like how, as I said before, especially with the movie I saw yesterday, these are strange times. Strange entertainments are definitely useful for helping deal with them, especially in games. Anyway, that's all to say for now, and I will see you soon to talk about the third and final direct for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. So that'll be all for now, and take care, everyone.